Gen Z is the youngest generation in today's workforce, and they're getting a lot of heat for how they show up on the job. But not every complaint about Gen Z tells the full story. Here's a closer look at what their critics say, and the reality behind each one. Some managers think Gen Z is lazy or unwilling to pay their dues. But Zoomers say they see work as a way to pay for living expenses, not something they live for. They're not likely to work extra hours unless they're getting fairly compensated. Older coworkers often interpret Gen Z's push for inclusion and balance as rebellious or difficult. But wanting flexibility, mental health support, and an inclusive workplace culture benefits everyone in the long run. This generation often asks for more guidance, which can feel like neediness to managers used to independent workers. But structured mentorship is valuable at any stage of a career and helps young employees grow faster and feel more engaged. Zoomers are used to a feedback-rich environment, like school or social media. They want feedback tied to the company's larger purpose, not just generic praise or criticism. That level of clarity can improve performance across the board. Many Gen Z workers care deeply about issues like ethical business practices. Some managers call that too political, but aligning a company's actions with its values is becoming an expectation, not a bonus. Some view Gen Z's demand for change as disruptive, but every new generation questions the status quo. Pushing for progress can make things uncomfortable, but it's also how workplace cultures evolve. Generational differences make collaboration harder. But labeling Gen Z as difficult often comes down to a lack of understanding. Bridging that gap takes effort on both sides. Older managers may feel frustrated when Gen Z workers set firm boundaries, like skipping work for mental health or not working late to hit a deadline. But prioritizing well-being leads to fewer mistakes and less burnout. This is a common complaint older workers have about any younger generation. Gen Z may not have as much professional experience, but that doesn't mean they aren't capable. They just need time to grow. Zoomers are more likely to talk about their mental health struggles and ask for accommodations. While some see that as weakness, it's actually helping normalize mental health discussions across the workplace. Many Gen Z workers want meaningful work, transparency about pay, and quick advancement. Older generations might view this as entitlement, but after seeing millennials struggle with debt and stagnant wages, Zoomers are simply trying to avoid the same fate. Rather than waiting for annual reviews or promotions, Gen Z wants a tailored path and regular feedback. With remote work on the rise, this desire for customization is becoming common across age groups. This generation grew up digital. They're fast with tech, but may avoid face-to-face communication. That can be frustrating, but sometimes a text is simply more efficient. If you need FaceTime, just say so. Zoomers prefer flat collaborative work environments and question top-down leadership. That can feel disrespectful to some, but it also pushes organizations to rethink inefficient systems. Gen Z's arrival in the workplace has created tension, but many of their expectations, including flexibility, fairness, and purpose, reflect broader changes in how people want to work. Instead of resisting these shifts, smart companies can adapt and benefit from a workforce that values balance, growth, and transparency.